Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. This week we don't just have one teacher to guide us into every day's meditation, but a whole host of wise teachers. Imagine peeling away layers of an onion, each layer revealing a fresher, more vibrant core. Now that's not just a metaphor. It's the transformative power of meditation. We accumulate these layers of acceptable selves in an attempt to make ourselves more presentable to the world. Masks we wear to fit in, to protect ourselves from judgment. But these layers meant to shield us become our prison, dimming our inner light and stifling our unique gifts. Isn't it time to break free? Ryan, a very good morning. It's good to see you. Happy that you're popping in. I hope you have a bit of time to sit down with us. Somebody, good morning. It is great seeing you. Hello. Many of us know this feeling of being trapped behind a facade. We yearn for authenticity, for the freedom to be truly ourselves. How do we shed these layers of armor? Three wise teachers share their thoughts with us today. Charlene, good morning. Happy Wednesday morning. Great seeing you. Hello. The first thought comes from John Kabat-Zinn. He says, "It is indeed a radical act of love just to sit down and be quiet for a time by yourself." He calls making time for that quiet space, making time for silence. He calls that a radical act of love. It's interesting that it should be so radical. The only reason it's such a radical thing to do is because so few people really get around to doing that. David Lynch says, the thing about meditation is you become more and more you. Over time, you become more and more you. And John Wellwood says beautifully, meditation provides a way of learning how to let go. As we sit, the self we've been trying to construct and make into a nice, neat little package continues to unravel. The self we've been trying to construct and make into a nice, neat little package continues to unravel the longer we meditate. Let me recap these few quotes. A radical act of love, becoming more and more you, the image of ourself that we've been showing the world starting to unravel. There is a becoming that is available to us, and meditation is a tremendously helpful tool in this process. Meditation means to become familiar with. Hey Anthony, good morning. It's great seeing you, dude. Hello. Meditation means to become familiar with, which opens up the question, what is it that I become familiar with while I meditate? While I sit and observe, I am becoming familiar with thoughts and feelings that arise within me. The more I observe, the more it becomes clear that while these thoughts and feelings come, they also go. With time, I become familiar with the origin of thoughts and feelings, seeing clearly the events and old messaging that created these old thought patterns within me. The easier it becomes for me to observe these old thoughts and feelings, the easier it is to know that thoughts and feelings are not me. Who I am is the one who is watching. The part of me that can observe these thoughts and feelings, that is the true me. By meditating, you are showing up for yourself. You are becoming more and more you as the old layers of armor that you thought you had to hold up for protection slowly unravel. Today's meditation is called The Masks We Wear. And it takes us down a road of the past to remind ourselves of what are some of the places where we got given the message that we should be different. We should wear a mask to conform to someone else's idea of what we should be. And none of us are completely free of this. We've all picked up some of this along the way. So it's just a reminder. You might have outgrown some of these old ways in which you used to hide yourself. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and we'll float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. With every inhale, feel your body rise. With every exhale, feel your body fall. And as you continue your full body breathing, rising and falling, we'll have a conversation about the masks we wear. We all start getting to know ourselves as kids through the eyes, or more realistically, we get to know ourselves through the reactions of the people around us. This is called a reflected sense of self. Because what we do, what we say as kids causes a reaction in the humans around us, and that reflects to us who we think we are, who we learn we are, a reflected sense of self. And from the reactions of the humans around us, we get the message of how we should be. And being the social animals that we are, having our tribal DNA still alive and well in our bodies, of course, we don't want to be pushed out of the tribe. We want to be accepted. So even if just subconsciously, we'll form an understanding of how we need to be different. What kind of a mask do I have to wear with each person in order to be accepted? Now, fortunately, even though our reflected sense of self plays a huge role in our development, fortunately, that's not the full story. That is not all of who and what we are. And that is why the meditative process of becoming familiar with how all of these things play their roles within us slowly makes it clear that I am not the thoughts I think. Thoughts come and they also go, and the longer I am able to just watch, the more clear it becomes. That thoughts are a lot more like clouds in the sky. I don't really have to do anything to make them float in or out. Who I am is not who I was taught to be. Who I am is much deeper than that. And now we can grow more into who we truly are. That is available to each of us. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in, and as you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. See if you're able to tilt your head to the left while you tilt your hips to the right. Curve your spine into an S from your head down to your tailbone. And then switch directions. Tilt your head to the right, tilt your hips to the left. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we possibly can be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, let's take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and how softness settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. Continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And you are invited to follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, the reminder is, our journey today is called The Masks We Wear. It is a reminder of where we might have picked up messaging about ourselves, where we might have picked up messaging about how and what and who we should be. And to see yourself now from a different place. To see yourself from your true self. Take your next big breath. We start this journey all the way back to your earliest memories. Can you remember a moment with your parents or primary caregivers? Can you remember a moment where a very young child, a very young you, felt clearly that the way I am is not acceptable? And in order to be acceptable, I would have to somehow be different. Bring that memory to your mind and watch it again. Take your next big breath. You can take that mask off and gently place it on the floor next to you. And the real empowerment comes from the conversation that your wisdom can now have with that young child. What would your wisdom want that young child to know about himself or herself? We'll take a step forward in time. Still the young child. We often had many other adults play a big role in our young lives. It could be uncles and aunts that we used to go and visit, could be grandparents. Can you remember a moment with other adult caregivers where perhaps you made a mistake, perhaps you did something wrong, but in that moment you were clearly made to feel that the way you are is not acceptable, and you would have to be different if you want to be accepted? Can you remember such an incident? Take your next big breath. you can take off that mask and gently put it on the floor next to you. We're slowly outgrowing the need for these masks. Your empowerment comes from the conversation that your soul can now have with that young child. What would your soul want that young child to know about herself or himself? We'll take another step on this timeline. Our young selves often spent a lot of time with other young kids. Might have been the neighbor's kids. Might have been our cousins, might have been our siblings. Can you remember a moment with these other young kids where it was made clear to you that the way you are is not acceptable and that you would have to show up differently in order to be acceptable? See if you can remember a moment like that. Take your next big breath. How would the conversation go now between your higher self and this young child? What would your higher self want this child to know about herself or himself? We'll take another step forward. Our teachers played a massive role in how we got to know ourselves. Can you remember a moment with a teacher where a teacher made you feel like the way you are is not acceptable, and in order to be accepted you'd have to be different? See if you can remember such an incident with a teacher. Take your next big breath. If you could have a conversation with that child again, what would you want him or her to know about themselves? We'll take another step forward. Our teenage friends. were another big influence on how we got to know ourselves. Can you remember an incident with a teenage peer where the way you felt was, the way I am is not good enough? I would have to be different. I'd have to put on a mask if I want them to accept me. Take your next big breath. All of these people were just reacting from their own wounding. They were reacting from their own level of understanding. If you could have a conversation with your teenage self, what would you want him or her to know about all these people? Even as adults, we have these experiences. The experiences of childhood carry the biggest weight, but it doesn't make our adult experiences any easier necessarily. We have these same experiences with colleagues, and of course, even more so, we have these experiences with romantic partners. Can you remember a moment where in your adult experience, someone made you feel like the way you are is not acceptable? And that if you want to be accepted, you'd have to be different. Take your next big breath. You have more access to wisdom now than you've ever had before. And whenever any of these old incidents come to mind, your job is to find the wisdom in you and have a conversation with these past versions of yourself. Let them know from this wiser place that all those people were just acting from their own wounding. They didn't know better. And what they said and how they made you feel is just not true. And that the only opinion that really matters is the opinion that your wisdom brings. that you know better. You've got them. You can hold that inner child, show up for that inner child, and be the validation for that inner child. We have the last few breaths of this phase to do together, slipping out of the breath-holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a long, slow exhale. Take one more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you one more time these few quotes from our beautiful teachers this morning. John Kabat-Zinn says, "It is indeed a radical act of love just to sit down and be quiet for a time by yourself," which we all experienced right now. How is it not a radical act of love to open the door to your inner child and have a conversation from a place of love? David Lynch says, "The thing about meditation is you become more and more you. It becomes clearer to see that so much of who I've been trying to be for years was not really me. It was trying to be something that I thought I should be." The more you're able to see yourself from wisdom, to see yourself from your higher self, the more and more you are becoming you. And John Wellwood says, "Meditation provides a way of learning how to let go. As we sit, the self we have been trying to construct and make into a nice, neat little package continues to unravel. The image of ourself that we've been showing the world starts unraveling. And isn't that beautiful? That you can get to a point where you can stop trying to show the world an image of you that's not real. The truth, though, is that even when we see this, even when we know this, our subconscious is not always ready. Our inner child is not always ready to step into this world free of any masks. And we might fall for the same old habit again and again. Muji described this beautifully when he said, "Being who you are, being who you really are, that's the easy part. Finding the observer and seeing through the eyes of your higher self, that's the easier part." Muji said, "What is difficult is to stop being who you are not. What is difficult is to get rid of the habit that puts on the mask before you even realize." Can you be patient Can you be kind to the part of you that have always felt the need for those masks in order to feel safe? You are getting better at this. But as we know, growth is not a light switch that we flip and then everything's different. It's more like a dance across a dance floor. We move forward, we move back. And there's no real goal of where we need to get on this dance floor and then we win the game. We can only become better at the dance. We become better at being ourselves. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for a moment to reflect on the baggage that I have picked up. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to see much more clearly how my old thoughts continue to repeat. The same old thoughts come around again and again. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for understanding clearly that these old thoughts are not who I am. It's just a recording. It's a recording that plays again and repeat. I don't have to read anything into it, but understand how it plays, why it plays, and why that's not the real me. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning that the part of me that can observe this old recording on repeat, the part of me that has the patience to see it again, that's the real me. That's my true being. That's the part of me that can love the human who felt the need for those masks in order to feel safe. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being on today's journey with us. Thank you for doing your work to love every part of you. Yes, even the parts with the bad habits. Maggie, a very good morning. It's great seeing you. Beatrix, hello. Awesome seeing you. Michelle, thank you for popping in. I hope you had some time to sit down with us. Lots of love to you all. Thank you, Beatrix. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Sunmarie. And Ryan for popping in this morning. See you all again soon. Ciao, ciao.